It's NeRo AnGelo signing in for the Black in a Minute podcast. DarksKing's not with us today, of course. I did explain that in the chat and in the Discord, if you're in there. But yeah, today we are definitely talking about an interesting subject. Give me a second. I was trying to send something off, and I guess it didn't work. But anyway, we're talking about an interesting subject today. You can see where it says, "When does helping hurt?" This was actually one that was voted on by some of you guys that were in the Discord and also within the Black in a Minute clique. Please do join the Discord. If you want to get in on the Discord, feel free to hit us up. Hit me up for the link. I can get it to you. Because the way it's going to start being is the Discord's going to kind of be the concentrated discussion area for everything we do, like the hub for everything we do. So whenever we come up with ideas for stuff to do and, try to come up with things to do, we're going to go from there and we're going to base it off of the reactions that we get from the people who are on the Discord. They're going to get the information first. They're going to get everything first. So you definitely want to be part of that. What I'm doing right now, I'm actually just working on a beat while I'm doing the podcast for somebody. I came up with the idea last night, like super late last night, so I might try to flesh it out today. Might get it done in the process of doing the podcast, don't know. But anyway, we're going to wait a little bit, make sure that people get on here, get set and ready, because I want this to be a good discussion tonight. The lighting is a little different today. We're going to try and get that worked out. I wish it was a little bit brighter in here, but, we'll work with what we have for right now. Who's all here? Haven't gotten anybody just yet. Let's see. What I might do with this one. I'm just working on some different stuff. See if anybody's on. While we're waiting for people to get on, I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of work on here. Actually, I might be able to show you guys what I'm working on. Hold on. Window. Yeah, so I can actually share it. Well, let me make sure the quality is up on this video. I don't know why it's on there. It should be high definition. There we go. I am sorry about that. I didn't know the definition wasn't up on that, but we'll work on that here in a second. Right now, I'm just working on some stuff, as you can see. Show you something that I usually do. Try to make some of these samples easier to cut or to replicate. I'm going to take this one right here. See how it's cut a certain way? I like to multitask, so you're going to get a bit of a tutorial today too. All right, so what we're going to do, we'll go over to Edison real quick. We'll pause that real quick. Let me see. Well, sorry, y'all can hear that in the background. I'm doing too much at once. If anybody's on here, feel free to say what's up. Definitely comment, say something to let the people know that you're here. Let me know that you're here. I, for one, am definitely happy to have you. Let me see something real quick, but let me get focused. See, usually when DarksKing's here, I can kind of work and experiment on all this extra junk. But with him not being here, my mind's kind of roaming and I'm trying to do a whole lot at once. But it's all good. We'll definitely have him back here momentarily, probably by next week. As with most things, everybody has life stuff going on. Let me make sure that was cut properly. We'll gate that. Now, if it loops properly, we'll be fine. All right, so what we're gonna do, we'll go ahead and send that down, and we'll see how long it is. So it should be just the right length. Yep, just barely over, but that's not bad. That'll work just fine for us, actually. And see, that way, I don't have to worry about this and constantly copying, pasting. Like, look at all those cuts. Look at all those cuts. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. So that's not so fun to deal with. This way, it's a little bit easier. And then we're going to do the same with this little hi-hat part too. Go ahead and, all right, we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. Hit this, and then all right. So it should be almost an exact cut. Let me see here. It might be differentiated by just a bit, but it's nothing we can't fix. Put it right on the, sometimes you got to squeeze in there and get right on the edge of that. I'm getting off subject, but that's just because I'm giving some time for some people to pop up. What's up, Kiki Nikoru? You've caught me working. Let me see. Yeah, let's go ahead and send that in. All right. Which, what I should have done before that is actually, I should have done this. Where is it at? Where is it at? Recut. No, trim. Here it is. Trim that extra fat. Now drop it. Then you get one that's almost perfect. It's the same type, but it's not off by a lot. So again, not a big deal. But see, now we don't have to worry about that. So actually, both of these can go away. That can go away. And then you can take this, put it right there, repeat it a few times. And the same thing with this. Oop, my bad. All right, let's see what it sounds like. We'll see if we did it right. You'll crack up when you realize what I sampled for it. Now, the only thing is we're going to have to make sure the loudness on this part is good enough, but we'll find that out here real quick. Just waiting to get a few more people on here. Yep. Take that part off. Excuse me. There we go. But, anywho, let's see. Who's on here? Is it somebody from... We got one person from Twitch and one person from YouTube so far. All right. We can work with that, right? Hmm. Right now, I'm just editing some stuff. But anyway, those of you that are on here, feel free to say what's up, like Kiki Nikoto did. You know, tell us how you're doing, what's going on. Mm. What's up, Kira Rob25? It's good to have you. Definitely appreciate that. Like I said, we'll get into this here in a little bit. Let's see. Trying to get the word out a little bit. Trying to make sure I'm alive, sort of, but you know why. Well, it's good that you're alive. It's a good thing to be alive. It's always a good thing to be alive. So let's see what we can do with this. See, now that we got it like this, and what we can do, get rid of all that excess junk. Go to Tools, Macros, Purge Unused Audio Clips. See how that list got down? All right, let's see. Let's see. That bass could hit a little bit harder, couldn't it? Let's see. Now, should we do something else with this? I feel like we should use that for something in the chorus. Don't mind me. I'm just kind of waiting for us to build up a little bit of a crowd so we can talk. I wish it didn't end right there. Ooh, we could work with that. We could work with that. Now, the thing is figuring out exactly where to cut. You kind of have to use your ears and your eyes for that. Trying to make it as exact of a cut as you can get. You won't always get it exact, but hey, look, barely alive is better than not alive at all. Not by much, but shoot, hey, you take what you can get. Yes, all right, so that should be good enough. All right, and then we'll cut right at that other end. Sometimes if you look at the pointy parts of it, it'll tell you exactly where to cut. It's not always accurate, but it does help. Let me see. Now let's see if we were right. So I'll hit that, so that way it's on there. We'll see where it goes. All right, so we were close. Let's see. Put this on here. It'll work as kind of a metronome for us. That part is slow. So what we can do, we'll cut it a certain way. That part's a little slow. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So we can make rough cuts here. Yeah. Make a rough cut right here. I like that. I like that. So this needs to go here. Oop, I put too many on there. Okay. We'll fix that. All right. See, everything doesn't have to be at the same. They don't always have to hit at the same thing. Let's see. Although it'd be nice. Yeah, it took too long to hit. And it does. So we're going to chop that one more time. Take this back. Move this out. Move that here. There we go. It's not perfect, but it's clean enough. Which with most samples, they're not going to be perfect. Honestly, if you make it too perfect, it doesn't sound right. We're going to fix that one part because it's going to annoy me. Since we passed the 15-minute mark, actually, I'll let that loop for a little bit because that's going to be the main part we work on. All right. So basically, what I was thinking is yes and no. But I was doing that kind of to kill time while we were waiting on more people to come in. But what we're gonna do right now, since we've passed the 15-minute point, what's up, DSOG? What we're gonna say is, as we usually do, we got a question of the day. This will be number one. It's gonna be a two-parter. We'll post this one up. All right. So the question of the day is, how do you define helping? And in what ways have you helped someone else in the past? So that's going to be our first question. Because I feel like we need to break ground with that before we get to like the nitty gritty of what we're going to talk about. Because I know the tagline is pretty intriguing, you know, saying something like, okay, when helping hurts. I'm sure there's a few people who are like, you're talking about when helping hurts, like how is it hurtful to help somebody, right? Well, there is a way, and we are going to talk about it. And then, let me make sure I'm on here, right? Bear with me on how incomplete that part of the beat sounds. We'll be fixing that very shortly. I'm going to go ahead and make sure this gets pinned. And that message. All right. And then once you guys post a few answers, we'll go ahead and look through them. Yeah, let me cut this right. Let me see if I can. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to see if I can cut it while it's actually going. Actually, I should have made it this short. Because I'll fix this one and then go with the next. Yeah, those need to be faster. So those need to be cut off by at least one. So what we'll do, we'll take this one. Yep. So move that back one. Move this back one. Move that out. And move that out. So you can hear the difference. You can hear the difference. It's those little subtle differences when it comes to cutting a sample that make it good, bad, ugly. That's why you're seeing so many lines whenever I was making that first part of it. But I can deal with these being up, because this is basically going to be our chorus. Kiki Nikoru says, I define helping as being able to assist someone, and I help people with being there for them in whatever capacity that is at the moment. Okay, I like that. And it's true. Helping is the ability to be there for someone, to be there and assist, you know what I mean? And I like that you said it like that. Actually, I'm going to look up the actual definition too. Or really the word help. Now, the definition for help that the dictionary provides is to make it easier for someone to do something by offering one services or resources, right? So you're rendering assistance. But I do like Kiki Nikoru's definition. Using what source? That was according to the dictionary online. That was the online dictionary. But I do like what Kiki Nikoru said. It is being able to assist someone. Because I think sometimes we get that very badly confused. If not just because of the fact that we can have a strong desire to help people. We can have a strong desire to want to assist others. But we need to be aware of when it is prudent to be helpful. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing that so that way you can kind of hear the music a little bit better. We need to be aware of when it's prudent to actually help others. We need to be aware of when we are able, as she just said, and when we are able to assist someone. Because sometimes we try to help and we try to fix things and we try to repair things that, one, have nothing to do with us. Two, we do not have the capacity at that moment to deal with, because maybe we have our own problems. Maybe we have our own issues. Maybe we have our own stuff going on, right? So in those situations, how much is your help really help? And how much of it is actually more to your detriment? And that goes back to the concept of when helping hurts. Now, that's one version of it. But I'm going to wait until a few more people drop some definitions, and then we can really get knee deep in this thing. Hold on. Let me go ahead and get these 808s set up. Let's see. I can actually show y'all what I'm doing here real quick. Hold on. If it'll let me. There we go. I'm not going to do that one while playing it. There it is. Sometimes it's good to use the higher part, so that way you know what's going on. So we'll take that and we'll double that. And we'll cut that right there. Cut it right there. Let's see. There it is. So we'll take that and move it down. And let's see if I did this right. And actually first, Kiki Nikoto says, also being helpful to me can look different at times, because someone may just need a shoulder to lean on in silence while they just kind of process what is troubling them. So whatever capacity is needed. Yes. And I'm glad that you actually brought that up, because sometimes our issue is people as helpers, as people who I like to call fixers, right? Is that we put too much into helping somebody. When someone comes to us with a problem, with an issue, with whatever, we assume that just automatically means we have to fix it. And that's not always the case. Sometimes, like she said, sometimes they just need someone to lean on. Sometimes they just need someone to listen. And ironically enough, it's good that this was brought up, because this is something that we're actually taught, that I've actually been taught in training, where if you're dealing with someone who has suicidal tendencies, or who is suicidal potentially, or is idle, whatever, I don't know, we're probably gonna get kicked off of YouTube, it don't matter. But when you have somebody who is dealing with something like that, the first thing you don't do is try to jump in and just fix things, or try to jump in and give all these suggestions for why life is worth more, for why this is that. Look, they've already worked most of that out. Everything you're saying, someone has already either told them, they've already told themselves, they've worked out that side of it. The part that you need to be at is being there for them in the way of, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here to listen. I'm here to understand. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Amoxicillin, good to have you here. We appreciate you. She said, helping to assist someone else to receive the item, feel, situation that they want or what you feel is best for them. Notice there's a few dots after that. Disclaimer, results have nothing to do with the intent to help. Yes, that is very true, because you can have all the good intentions in the world and it doesn't work. You can have all the good intentions in the world and for whatever reason, either they don't want to accept the help, either whatever you're doing is not working for their particular situation, or whatever's going on, the lines are crossing. The lines ain't crossing the way they're supposed to. And I do like, yes, you can give them what they want and it doesn't help them. Yes. And on the other side, you can try to give them what you want to give them and it doesn't help them. Because you're looking at it from your perspective. You're looking at it from like, oh, well, if I was dealing with this, if I had this problem, I'd do it just like this. Not everybody is you. I've said this so many different ways and in so many different situations, but your standards are not someone else's standards. And being very mindful of that is something that is very important when it comes to trying to be of assistance to someone. Because when you don't have that in your head, when you don't have that in your mind, you cause a lot of extra problems for yourself. Because suddenly now it's become the you show. You know what I mean? It's not even about whatever that person needs. It's about you satisfying your own desires to fix everything, right? And that is the thing that we want to avoid. We want to avoid trying to just be fixers and just be that. Some people need that. That's okay. But that's not ideal for every situation. And in other cases, just like what amoxicillin is saying, some situations, what they want you to help them with is not going to do anything. Because sometimes they want you to not only listen to them, they want you to sit there and nod your head and agree with whatever it is that they're saying. And in some cases, man, that ain't the way to go. You know what I mean? Look. So I do like that. I really appreciate that. And of course, some of you guys on Twitter can't see what amoxicillin posted. So let me go ahead and drop that in the comments real quick. Actually, what I'll do, I'm going to try and see if I can get the chat up here. No, not that. Hold on. I did have a way to. There we go. Chat overlay. There we go. Although it's not going to show those just yet. But what we'll do is I'll post these one by one because it is a multi-part. But this is what amoxicillin said. Again, helping to assist someone else to receive the item, feel, situation that they want or what you feel is best for them. Disclaimer, results have nothing to do with the intent to help. Also, you can give them what they want and it doesn't help them. And amoxicillin also went on to say, I've been helped in ways I didn't understand until later. Yes. And you know what? That's very big. That's very big. And I appreciate you actually bringing that up because that's heavy. Like, a lot of people don't realize, like, look, sometimes tough love is a thing, you know? And we have to be cognizant of that. You know, like, sometimes the reason that people say things in a harsh way or kind of a rude or crude manner is because they are trying to help you. But at the same time, just because you don't like what they're saying doesn't mean they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's the biggest thing about it. Ooh, this should be good. My ratchet, stank ex-boss helped me get a stronger backbone and to stand up for myself. My next job gave me twice the money. Well, look at that. Look at that. Let's go to right there. And you know what? Yes, your experiences can be considered helpers. You know, we may not always qualify it as that, but it is that. You know, sometimes going through those negative experiences, you know, dealing with crappy people like that and people who frustrate and stress you out, those things do help you. And you don't think it's helping you because it's pissing you off every day. It's making you frustrated. It's getting on your nerves. You know, you could write a whole 10-page essay about how much you can't stand any of the people that you deal with or work with or whatever, right? And what you don't realize is that experience is making you stronger. It's making you stronger. And it's making you better for it, you know? And that's just something that you got to be mindful of, because if you're not mindful of it, you will miss it. You will miss it. Because it's easy to be deluded into thinking, oh, well, this is no help for me. Oh, I just wanted the easy way. I want it this way, you know, whatever. And that's not really what really counts all the time. It is the struggles. It is it is the things that you have to persevere through that build you. And ironically, the other, if you have been paying attention to the click, and if you're on the Discord, the other suggestion that I had actually had up had to do with this other side, which was trusting the process. As we know, most things that are worth anything are usually difficult. They're usually difficult. And that's just the truth. Most of the time, what we deal with in life and what things afflict us in life are not easy. Not easy to deal with, not easy to handle, not easy to fathom. And yes, is it frustrating? Does it get on our nerves? Oh, absolutely. But do you grow and become better from it? You can. You can. And I'm not going to say it's a guarantee that you will, but it is a good chance that you will if you apply the lessons that you're taught in the right way. Because in some cases, you don't. You don't apply them in the right way. So as a result, you don't see what's going on. And yes, I like this one. We level up in the most mysterious ways and places. Experience is everywhere. EXP for all the gamers is everywhere. That is true. That is true. Because you notice, like in video games, even if you get beat down, you still, in most games, you still get a little bit of experience. You still get something out of it. You know what I'm saying? And it may not be exactly what you wanted. It may not be exactly what you needed at that moment, but it will help you get to that point. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that you got to be mindful of, is that sometimes those hard lessons are going to come at you, and they're going to come at you fast. So you got to be ready for that experience. And you got to hope that you're prepared enough and that you're mentally fortified enough to be able to deal with whatever's coming next on the horizon. And these things that are struggles and are issues will help you with that. Now, with that being said, do not willingly jump into madness and danger if you don't have to. This goes back to where helping hurts. Because here's the other side of helping hurting, is when you end up doing too much for someone who isn't doing enough for themselves. Catch what I said. You're doing too much for someone who isn't doing enough for themselves. Now, when it comes to helping, when it comes to assisting somebody, when it comes to reaching out and trying to be there for somebody, it should never be a situation where it feels like you are doing more work than the person that needs the help. It should never be that. It should never be that type of a situation. Even if it starts out that way because maybe that person is at a significant disadvantage, okay, that's cool. But it should not remain that way for any extended period of time. If it does, it means it's time for you to go. It means it is time for you to go. It is time for you to move on. It is time for you to take a different step and step away. Just step away. And don't think that this is an evil thing or a bad thing to do, because trust me, I get it. I've been in this situation more times than I can count where I felt like I was being a bad person because I stepped away, you know. And the truth is, what I was doing was practicing, what did our folks call it? Tough love. It's just one of those things that is important. It's important to do. It's necessary to do. You know, it's just so necessary to do, because most things we experience, kind of like what amoxicillin was saying, most things we experience are unpleasant. Most things that we gain experience from are very unpleasant. That's just the truth. Like, most of the things that we experience are usually 9 times out of 10, they are unpleasant. You will be hard pressed to find situations that are going to be inherently easy. Notice what I said. You're going to be hard pressed to find a situation where something you're experiencing is easy. And in those situations where it is, in this situation, where it is easy, that's just a prelude 9 times out of 10. And everybody knows what that means. When I say it's a prelude, it's because you're only scratching the surface. You're only scratching the surface. You don't know what's going on beyond that. So be very wary of when a situation is a little too easy. Not saying that there shouldn't be some situations that are easier, because I believe there are. There are certain ones where it should be easier by virtue of what you've been doing and how you've been building yourself and hopefully making yourself into a better individual. But at the same time, never assume that anything is going to be easy, because life just doesn't work that way. Life just doesn't work that way. And we know it. We know it, And with that being said, we're going to go through this real quick. You have to be very careful. You have to be very careful when it comes to dealing with situations and helping with situations, because once it starts seeming a little too easy, that means there's something else on the horizon. Yes, 100%. I always say, I am a buff, not your whole dang item build. Yes. You need to at least become ready to fight. I'm dropping that. You're dropping quotables today. And helping too much will drain you. I like that you put in all caps, will drain you. Helping too much will drain you, and you will start neglecting yourself over helping the other person. Look, somebody give this woman a mic. She's preaching right now. Y'all need to listen to what she's saying, because I'm sure a lot of us on this list have either been on the receiving end of someone who has done this, or we have been the person to do it, where you're helping too much. You are giving way too much. Like you said, you need to be a buff. You are not everything. It should never be a situation where if I remove myself from the situation, for the most part, what we're talking about in this case, DSOG Mental, we're talking about helping we're helping like a person. In this case, we could talk about a person. That's really what we're applying it to. Because it can be a world or situation, But interpersonal relationships, yes. That's where the biggest thing is, because yes, helping the world can drain you. I'm not gonna cap about that. That's the absolute truth. But what we're speaking on in this case specifically is helping like loved ones, friends, associates, people that you know and you see every day who are in need or appear to be in need, right? What can happen whenever what's the thing that can happen whenever you do help too much? And I guess that'll be question number 2. So since we've kind of gone in that direction, amoxicillin has helped us kind of get in that little direction. Let's go with that. Question number 2. Got a better way to say that. Okay, so question number 2. How can we identify when we are helping too much? Because we can talk about it all day. We can identify the fact that helping too much is dangerous and that it is problematic. But where is the statute of limitations at? Where is it? Where do we impose a limit? Where do we impose a limit where it's like, okay, look, dog, I done did enough for you. You should be able to stand on your own too now. Where do we draw the line? And what is your indicator for where to draw the line, if there is one? And it's okay if you don't have one, because some people don't. But for this exercise specifically, I want you to try to find it. I want you to look back into your past situations where maybe you have helped too much and look at what it looks like. Figure out what it looks like. Okay, amoxicillin. Evaluate your responsibility to that person's safety / emotional state and finances. Because if it's your child, that's your job. Right. Agreed. So I feel that. Because yeah, in certain situations, certain levels of help is going to look different. So if we're dealing with our kid, or whatever, if we're dealing with a personal family member, like that, okay, cool. There are going to be some certain situations that do look like that. That do look like, okay, we need to step in. We need to do what needs to be done because this is a kid. They can't help themselves. Okay, fine. Or this is my kid. You're my responsibility. Therefore, I do need to help you. Now, it is good that you said that, because sometimes, now, if the child is old enough to be able to support themselves, if a child is cognizant enough to understand what things they're doing right and wrong, and they still refuse to act in a proper manner, even though they do have the tools necessary to do better, then where do you cut the cord? Where do you cut the cord? Because at what point do you realize, hey, I'm not helping you? And not so much like I'm going to stop helping you. In other words, it's actually that nothing you're doing is helping. Nothing you're doing is doing anything positive. Let's see. Kicking the I'm sorry. Kier Rob 25 said, when people don't respond the way they're supposed to be, if your help is guiding them, some people take you for granted. Yes, that is true. Okay, amoxicillin with number 2. Number 2, evaluate if you can help. What on earth am I doing as a cubicle worker, playing therapist / financial advisor / doctor / etc.? There you go. Look, girl, you hitting it. You hitting it for real. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that because it's absolutely right. Look, I'm as close to a therapist as I've ever been in my life at this point, right? I'm literally about 1 or 2 steps away, legitimately. I have helped people the least at this point in my life compared to before when I didn't have any credentials towards this. And in those situations, yes, I have been that therapist, financial advisor, whatever, right? Peacemaker, mediator, all that stuff. Oh yeah. And yeah, I can tell a little bit. You're a little too detailed with these instructions to not have been through a little something. But you know what? We appreciate that. This is a safe space. Most of us understand what that feels like on one end or the other. Now, the other thing is that we do have to be cognizant of the fact that sometimes we are the recipients of too much help. Now we can talk all the smack in the world about, oh well, this person got on my nerves because they always need help. They always need me to do something for them. Okay, what about the situation where you get on their nerves because you doing too much, because you ain't pulling your weight, you ain't assisting, and you waiting for them to be that knight in shining armor and to do whatever it is they're supposed to do for you. And it's to the point that they've helped you out so much, and this does happen, that you feel like it's an obligation. You feel like they're supposed to help you. We have to be honest when those things happen. And the truth of the matter is, because we are people and we've all had similar experiences to this, we've all been through that. We have all been on both. Majority of us, unless you either living under a rock or you just don't know nobody and don't mess with nobody, we've been on both sides of this particular situation. We've been on both sides. We've been either the person helping, rendering the assistance, putting ourselves out there, like sometimes all the way out there for somebody's sake. And we've also been the person who was the direct recipient or the indirect recipient of the help. We've been on both sides. And yeah, you got, just like we got to be ready and willing to admit, this person getting on my nerves, they always won't help. Well, we need to admit whenever we know that we're pushing the boundary, whenever we know we're pushing somebody else to their wits' end, whenever we know that somebody's stressed out because they don't want to deal with our crap anymore, right? All right, so Amoxicillin said, it seems like these people aren't self-aware about how much they are leaning on others until that helper ghosts them or blows up on them at random. Yeah. Oh, girl, you have been through something. You speaking gospel right now, like, because that's facts. Like, I mean, there's no other way to look at it. Honestly, there's just no other way to look at it. Sometimes we really aren't aware. We are not being aware of what's going on and what things are affecting and afflicting us, and how much what is affecting us is bothering other people because we have decided to make it their problem. How many times have we gotten up in somebody else's face and been cool with them until the moment that they say no? I always heard that, actually, as an old phrase from older folks. I used to hear somebody say, if you really want to know how somebody feels about you, if you really want to know how much of a friend or whatever you are to a person, say no to them. Just tell them no. It doesn't have to be about anything in particular or specific, but just tell them no. Just tell them no. You know what I'm saying? The SOG, are you not? I feel like you asked that already. I'm pretty sure you asked that already. I don't know why it's not popping up again, but yeah, we're talking about interpersonal. Most interpersonal situations, people. I don't know if you're not getting the messages or not hearing anything. Am I coming through all right? You got me a little concerned, bro. But yeah, we're talking about interpersonal situations, helping people that we know, people that we're cool with, people we might be in a relationship with, and that's not just old relationships, but even friendships, things of that nature, whatever, whatnot, right? So that's what we're talking about. What do you have to contribute, sir? Because you're one of the few people on here that isn't a member of the 80s or 90s crowd. So I feel like you might have a little bit more to render in this specific category. At least a little bit more than, some of us, because just by virtue of having a few more years on the earth, having a few more experiences than the last person. I'm about to see if this thing will come up. Okay, amoxicillin says it's also important to not get jaded when you've been burned. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to help anyone after I got ran over. Yeah. I'm actually gonna post that up because that's heavy. That's very big, and it's big of you to say that, honestly, because I've definitely been there. I'm sure a few people in the chat have been there, where you get so tired, you get so thoroughly tired of dealing with other people's crap that you're over it. You reach a crossroads where it's not even so much about you being drained. It's not so much about you wanting to help for the sake of helping. Now you're just mad. You don't want to help anybody. Like, it's not just, oh, I don't want to help that person. No, now I don't want to help anybody because this one person pissed me off so bad that I'm just over it. I'm done. I'm retiring my superhero cape. I'm not saving nobody else, right? And for some people, that might be what you got to do. That might be your experience. That might be your hustle. That might be your, struggle. But you can't, if you are a helper by nature, and this is something I personally believe, if you're a helper by nature, if you're a person who assists people, and that's what you do, just like how you wouldn't let nobody stop you from achieving a specific goal, or from really getting on, or for going for a job you want or going for a position you want, you shouldn't let anybody stop you from being a helper. You shouldn't let anyone stop you from being a person who wants to contribute to others, who wants to render service to others. Because if that's what you do and that's your grind, that's you. That's you. And that is a part of you. And that's not a part of you that you should just automatically surrender just because some idiot pissed you off and didn't do you right. Yes, leave that person alone, but don't let it ever come to a situation where you can't render any assistance to anybody because one person hurt you. Because at that point, what are you actually doing? What are you proving right? What are you accomplishing, right? What exactly are you doing? Are you walking in your purpose when you do that? And I know that sounds churchy, but I don't care. If you are a type of person who is built to be a helper, to be a fixer, to be someone who renders a service to someone because it brings you joy and it brings you fulfillment, are you still walking within that purpose when you all mad and pissed off and be like, nah, dog, I can't help you? No. The SOG Mental said just dropping jewels on people in general, helping people get to the next level. Okay, well, that's good. Kiara Route 25 says, I still help people, but I'm more the long way until you prove yourself. Yeah. And that's fair. Because just because you do help doesn't mean that you can't control the level to which you help. It doesn't mean that you have to absolutely be somebody's Superman or Superwoman. It doesn't. Sometimes you can minimize your level of help to standing off on the sidelines and being moral support. That is okay. That's perfectly okay. You know why? Because no one is allowed to tell you how you help. No one is allowed to tell you how you help. And if it is to a point where it is becoming a detriment to yourself, cut the cord. Move back. Reassess everything, and attack it again. Just like we said about, I think, which one was that one? That was 2 pods ago, I really think. I can't remember the subject of that one. But seriously, you have to do for yourself too. It's not selfish. Like, how do I want to phrase this? Yeah. Okay, I got it. Selfishness is not self-preservation. And self-preservation might look selfish, but it's not. Because to some level and to some degree, you have to take care of yourself. You are owed that. You owe it to yourself to take care of yourself. And when you reach a point where you are not helping yourself, you are doing a disservice to yourself, and you're doing a disservice to the person that you're trying to help. Because what the hell are you going to realistically do if you're not at 100%? Amoxicillin said, I have that philosophy myself. I don't want to dangle it. I just don't want to dangle it over their head. I don't like ultimatums. They tend to feel manipulative. In my opinion, I just quietly draw the line, and when it's crossed, it's over. Okay. And the SOG said that's why I dropped General Jules. Okay, that's fine, because you're keeping you're imposing a limit, however seen or unseen. It is a limit. You're imposing a limit, and it's totally okay to impose a limit, because honestly, however you help is however you help. That's like folk trying to feel entitled to your money. If you didn't help them by paying them back or doing something like that, and then all of a sudden they want to get, yes, protect your peace at all costs. They want to get snippy and be like, well, ain't you got some money? Yeah, I sure do. But that doesn't mean it's for you. And you're allowed to say that. You're allowed to say that. Protect your peace at all costs. Protect your investment in yourself at all costs. All right? You ain't got to sit here and think that you need to be everyone's. Yes, that's why it's called my money. Right. It means that I have the express right to do whatever it is I personally please with it. And if that means I'm going to help you, cool. And if it don't, well, that's too bad for you. It's fine for me. It's fine for me. Why? Because it's mine. Because it's mine. But yes, realistically. Now, with that being said, we do have to attack this other side. And this will probably be the last bit. This will probably be the last part, and then we'll probably check out because we are over an hour. Here's the other thing that a lot of people who are helpers mess up. And this is another way in which helping hurts. When you help somebody with something and they go take whatever benefits they got from you and go utilize them in a way, let's say it's money, right? So let's say we give you some money, or you give somebody some amenities that they might need, and they turn around and do something with it that you don't like. You have no authority over what you have given them once it is given. Let me say that again. You have no authority over what you have given somebody once it is given. Which means what? You can't sit off in the cut and be like, I don't even know why they did that with that. I can't believe they did that with what I gave them. If you felt that way, you shouldn't have gave it to them. If you felt concerned that it wasn't going to work the way that you wanted, don't give it to them. And if you already did, well, for next time. Great. Wonderful. Move on. Just like how they don't have any power over your money and your finances and your resources, whatever resources you give them are now theirs. You have no authority and no power to tell them what they can do with it. To some degree, we can't even do that with our kids. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to do what they want to do. People are going to do what they want to do. Now, If they decide to go off your influence and actually do something different, okay, that's great. But that doesn't mean that you have control. Amoxicillin said, actually DSLG Mental said, people feel things are one-sided instead of giving out all the possible ways. Yes. Amoxicillin said, exactly. If I give the homeless man $10, that's his $10 to drink if he wants. Yes. And that is a perfect example. That is such a perfect example. Because it's like, okay, look, you got to be very intentional about what you give somebody if you want it to be pushed in a certain direction. All right. If you want somebody to do something positive, whatever money you give them, why don't you just give them a gift card for wherever that place is? Why don't you put them in the situation and get the thing for them instead of just giving them money? Because all you've done is take the easy way out. And guess what? If they decide to take the easy way out and do whatever they want to do with it, it's theirs to do. It's theirs to do it. You know, we also can't risk being so pretentious and so self-centered that we start believing that our help is the only help or is the best help for somebody. And that when they move on, when they're able to move on and do what they need to do for themselves, that they have to need us, that they have to come to us for those answers and for that assistance. No, if anything, you should be happy that they're not bothering you. That means they've progressed forward. Just because you help somebody does not mean that you have power over them. It does not mean that you have power over them. Yes, savior complex is rampant in our generation, unfortunately. Oh, it's rampant in general. It's rampant in general. Because here's the thing. Look. If somebody's doing good and they're doing all right for themselves, let them. Okay? They will come to you when they need help. And maybe once you get that person out of the way, maybe there's somebody else that could utilize your help more than that one person you're focusing on because they're not doing everything exactly the way you want them to. Get over yourself. Yes, we might all be, unique individuals and unique people, and we all might have gifts and abilities to help people, and we might be helpers and fixers and all that stuff, but that does not make us more important than any other person in the world. If they find their way to get it how they live, so be it. You did. Let's be real. You did. Because if you're in a position to help anybody, then you found a way to get it how you live. And I'm more than willing to bet that the way you learn how to get it is not how your parents learned how to get it, not how the person who helped you learn how to get it, not how whoever influenced you learned how to get it. It is in some way different because we add our own variations to life. We are a conglomerate of everything that has been instilled in us from childhood up to now, which means that we are inherently different from every person that has helped us and from every person that we help. But yeah, that's the biggest thing that I really do want to kick to you guys. Look, now, if you're Bill Gates, Jeffy B, I might need your help, bro. Don't listen to this man. No. Look, ain't nobody said nothing about no Bill Gates. I mean, I don't even know who Jeffy B is, but look. If Bill Gates want to help you out, go ahead, get that. Go and get yours. Go get yours, because all of us is in the poorhouse compared to him. Jeff Bezos ain't getting you nothing but an expedited package. But hey, don't lose your blessing. Don't lose your blessing, sis. If you think you can get it, go pursue it. I ain't mad at you. I'll be the last person to discourage you. For real. Hey. And if you make it happen, go ahead and slide your boy a dub. I'm totally fine with that. I feel like that's a good way to kind of knock this one off. We started off serious, but we ended with a laugh, and I appreciate that. We've been on for about an hour and 10 minutes, so we'll probably cut it here. My beat has been made. My heart is glad. My people are here. We had a good discussion. We need some more people on the Discord. Yes, indeed. This was a great talk. I appreciate it. I know DarksKing is somewhere smiling right now, and if he ain't, he will be when he watches this, especially this particular part. So yeah, like we do it this time, this has been the Black in a Minute podcast, brought to you and sponsored by Twyman Art, which is where we are currently located. I go by NeRo AnGelo, and I do want to say that I do appreciate you guys being on here, even in the absence of my lovely co-host, who calls himself King Ugly, but we still gonna say lovely because he's got a great soul. But anyway, if you do want to stay in contact with us, please do check out the links that are in the description of the live stream. If you want to be part of the Discord and be able to have a driving force in a lot of the topics that we talk about, and a lot of the things that get decided on, and a lot of the things that get suggested, feel free to hit me up. Hit me up however you can. I am very accessible. I will send you the link to the Discord. The Discord link is only going to those who are really about that life, because I want to get some good discussions, cropped up from this. I want us to build. I don't want it to just be what me and DarksKing want to talk about. We want to talk about what y'all want to talk about. And I think in a concentrated forum such as Discord, where we can talk amongst ourselves and no one else is around but those who we choose to be there, I think we can do that. But anyway, it has been wonderful to have you all. You could be anywhere else on this lovely Sunday night. You could be asleep because it's 9 o'clock and some of y'all got to get up in the morning. But you're right here with me, and I do appreciate it. So I bid you a good day, good night, good evening, and peace out. Power.